The story kicks off in a restricted area. Perfect day for a camping trip, you'd think, but a sinister yellow dust hangs in the air. This guy is down for the count, gasping, face smeared with blood. There's something inside the dust. That's his last thought. The next thing he knows, an unseen force grabs him and drags him into the abyss. For anyone who wanders in here by mistake, this place is the gateway to hell. Another casualty. We'll have to file a report. The team in yellow uniforms deals with the scene with cold professionalism. They're agents from the Ministry of Environment, specializing in these natural disasters. For them, death is just part of the job description. What they're up against are the man-eating demons lurking in the yellow dust, the knackle. Their mission? A clean and quiet resolution before the public even knows what hit them. Now, let's meet our protagonist, Maru Han. He's no elite agent. Quite the opposite. He's a textbook case of social anxiety meets bad luck. Right now, he's at his 5th attempt at the civil service interview. I feel like I'm dying. I want to go home. My heart's gonna explode. He mutters, hiding in a bathroom stall, nerves completely shot. A stable, secure, respectable job. That's the normal life he's dreaming of, but it always feels just out of reach. The interview room is basically a public execution. Why do you want to be a civil servant? For a stable life. Inner monologue. For the iron rice bowl and pension plan to, what if your superior makes a mistake? I'd honestly point it out and try to find a solution. Inner monologue. Pretend I saw nothing, obviously. You want me to get hazed. Behind every textbook answer is a silent, sarcastic scream. He's trying so hard to play the part of a functional adult, but his brain is already logging off. Tell me about the most difficult time in your life. That question was a key, unlocking the darkest floodgate in his memory. Suddenly, it wasn't an interviewer in front of him, but a blood-red world and a giant creature covered in eyes. Boom! The panic attack hits full force, and his reality shatters. Right there, in front of the interview panel, he throws up. 5th interview, spectacularly failed. No job, no girlfriend, no friends. Maru's life is a complete dumpster fire. And to make matters worse, his mom shows up. Here's some allowance. She throws the cash on the floor, her eyes devoid of any warmth. For him, his mother's concern can sometimes cut deeper than anyone else's malice. I'm Fina, Mom. I'm an adult. He tries to argue, but his voice is barely a whisper. At his wit's end, Maru remembers what the shaman his mom dragged him to said. You keep failing because your father's ghost is blocking you. Go back to the mountain where he disappeared and make an offering. It sounded ridiculous, but for a guy with 0 options left, it was the only straw to grasp. And so, he returns to the one place he swore he'd never set foot in again. Dad, if you're having a good time up there, please look after Mom. And while you're at it, maybe help me find a job. He clumsily pours out the liquor, finishing the absurd ritual. The shadow of his father's disappearance, a ghost from his childhood, closes in on him again. All he wants is to get off this mountain, as far away from this cursed place as possible. Safety first. That's his life's motto. But sometimes, fate has a twisted sense of humor. That familiar yellow dust reappears without any warning. From within the haze, a gaunt, humanoid creature slowly emerges, holding a spear. Am I hallucinating again? Maru rubs his eyes. But in the next instant, a sharp pain rips through him. The spear is now firmly planted in his gut. Is this how I die? I've spent my whole life studying and working part-time. I've never even been in love. His consciousness begins to fade as despair consumes him. But in that moment of surrender, his mother's face flashes in his mind. Mom! The raw instinct to survive snaps his eyes open. He doesn't want to die. The monster doesn't care about his inner turmoil. It opens its grotesque maw and chomps down. And inside its mouth, is that an eye? In agonizing pain, Maru's consciousness is ripped to shreds. He feels himself being devoured, digested. It's all over. But in the deepest darkness, something inside him activates. Hey, wake up. This is a restricted area. What are you doing here? When Maru opens his eyes again, he's lying on the grass, surrounded by 2 strangers. He checks his stomach. The wound is gone. He remembers being stabbed, getting his head bitten into, but he's perfectly fine. Where's the monster? The yellow dust. He looks around. Everything is peaceful, as if it were all just a terrible nightmare. Before he can even process what's happening, he's whisked away to an auditorium with a banner that reads, Special Civil Service Welcome Orientation. Everyone around him is in a suit, their faces grim, while he sticks out like a sore thumb in his floral shirt. On stage, a woman with purple hair and an imposing aura announces coldly, Welcome, everyone, to the Special Civil Service of the Ministry of Environment. Maru is completely lost. But I never applied. The woman glances at him. I just got the report. Maruhan, congratulations. You're in. This isn't acceptance. It's a freaking draft. Turns out, these creatures called Knuckle only appear in uninhabited mountains, and they bring the yellow dust with them. The thicker the dust, the stronger the Knuckle. And in very rare cases, a human who absorbs Knuckle blood can also absorb their powers, becoming a Knucklist. Yep, they're talking about him. Maruhan. He didn't just survive, he accidentally got a superpower upgrade. But his power level? A measly level 1. The lowest in the room. Some arrogant colleague immediately starts mocking him. Level 1? What can you even do? The awkwardness is so thick. He wishes the floor would just swallow him whole. He went from being a loser who couldn't pass the civil service exam to a loser with the weakest superpower. His life is just full of surprises. Next up, field training. Everyone up the mountain. Show us what you've got. The purple-haired director barks, and everyone dashes forward. Maru, lost in the crowd, has only one thought. Run. Get as far away from this insanity as possible. Special civil service? Superpowers? Screw all that. He just wants his pathetic, but at least safe, normal life back. But reality quickly slaps him across the face. The so-called training exercise involves a live Knuckle. It's huge, grotesque, and radiates an aura of death. The director casually explains, "Don't worry, its brain has been neutralized. It's just a living target." A living target? Fight that thing. Maru's legs turn to jelly. The terror of being ripped apart yesterday comes flooding back. A panic attack kicks in. He can't breathe. But this time, it's not the agony of dying that follows. It's an intense hunger. So hungry, I am starving. This primal urge overwhelms his fear. He can almost hear a voice whispering in his head, "Eat." In that moment, he's no longer just Maruhan. He's a ravenous predator. The training ground instantly turns into a slaughterhouse. That level 7 big shot takes the lead, landing a punch that sends Knuckle flesh flying. But the enraged monster retaliates with a wide-area attack, sending all the rookies flying. Maru is tossed around like a rag doll, completely dazed. Before he can even react, a giant claw descends from above. He gets another taste of death. But this time, the power inside him fully awakens. He's no longer the trembling weakling. He, or rather, the Knuckle inside him, fights back. With his bare hands, he tears his enemy to shreds. The fight is over, but so is Maru's sanity. Killing, monsters, death, it's all too much for him to handle. To hell with the special civil service. He runs. He runs for his life. All he wants is to go back to being the ordinary, incompetent, but at least human Maruhan. But fate's script was already written. He escaped one battlefield only to stumble into another hell. A new Knuckle appears right in front of him, as if it was waiting for him, holding an innocent old woman hostage. Meanwhile, the female agent who catches up is stunned to see that Maru's arm, which was bitten off moments ago, has already grown back completely. This guy, is he really a level 1? The story is just getting started.